welcome to the Green Woman Tarot. This is your weekly read for the week starting on the 3rd of August till about the 7th of August. And it's a general reading just to see what's on the cards for you at this time. But before we dive into the tarot, I need to consult the oracle. And I thought we'd just start with a quick fortune card from this little deck. The Rhyme and Reason deck from Wychwood Oracle. So let's see what mysterious words of wisdom the oracle has. Oops, for you, and you've got two come out. Okay, a card of transience. Lily white, your flower is bright. Enjoy it while you may. Lily pale, your bloom will fail, for all must fade away. So that's something that's wonderful, but short-lived. And you've also got the newlyweds, a card of compromise. It's time to leave, the coach is here, but who will pull and who will steer? So there may be a need for compromise, working together, and that may involve compromise. So you've got transience and compromise so far, and I will just pick a card or two from this oracle for you as well, just to finish off your oracle reading. So let's see what words of wisdom this mysterious oracle has for you, Leo, for the first week of August 2020. What messages are there for Leo for the first week of August 2020? Any messages for Leo for the first week of August 2020? They were just all, it was just my entirety shuffling, I think. I will pick a card this way for you. Take this busy pile. And let's pick I'll just pick a couple just to finish off this oracle bit section for you, and then we'll go on to the tarot. You get the conch, which is about communication and listening, and I get a sense that with compromise, listening is all important. And you also get the badger, being stoical, tenacious. You know, the badger is unfearing, very courageous animal. So you've got the badger, the conch shell, compromise, and transience. So let's see what the rest of the reading reveals to you today. Sorry, clumsy today, just really clumsy. And I've got the deck upside down. Let's see what messages are there for Leo for the first week of August 2020. What's on the cards for Leo for the first week of August 2020? What messages are there for Leo for the first week of August 2020? What messages are there for Leo for the first week of August 2020? I'll tell you what, Leo, we'll begin here as the cards are beginning to jump out. You've got Death, 9 of Wands, and 3 of Swords. So there seems an ending that may be difficult for you. An ending, though, despite its difficulty, leads into a new beginning. As one door closes, another opens. So there may be an involuntary ending to something and moving on in a new direction. You've got the Nine of Wands. Perhaps something you're working for, or working towards, is, especially if things around you have sort of are coming to a difficult ending, you may feel exhausted, tired, and wanting to just throw in the towels. But you know, the Nine of Wands is all about persevering, actually, and sticking to your guns, staying with something, because despite feeling tired, perhaps wounded, you are very close to achieving what you've been working towards and what you've been putting your energy into. It's not been wasted. You're almost there, despite it feeling like it's an ending and feeling depleted. And you've also got the Three of Swords. Perhaps there's some sense of regret. Perhaps you've embarked on a path for some of you, and it's become very difficult. It may have involved things ending, and you therefore may be feeling regretful. However, let's see what the rest of the cards show for you. You've got the Eight of Cups moving away, Seven of Wands, and the Queen of Swords there. And then you have the Hanged Man, and the Justice card, and the Ten of Wands as your challenges. It does seem to be a bit of a challenging week. And then you've got the Nine of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the King of Swords in your advice row, suggesting that you're going to be needing to use a lot of mental energy, figuring things out, reasoning things through. And then your final outcome shows the Six of Wands, which is success, the Four of Coins, and the High Priestess. And at the bottom of the deck you have the Seven of Cups. Many possibilities opening up, choices that may well be difficult. So as I said, you've got, for some of you, you're at a point where whatever you've been working on, whatever you've been putting your energy into, may well be starting to feel pointless, like a goal that cannot be reached. You may have some regrets and be faced with a difficult ending. I see what's brought you here, and the surrounding energies are to do with moving away from something, having to leave something behind in search of more fulfillment, in search of happiness, something that perhaps just simply no longer fulfills you, no longer serves you. I see here a decision. When I'm looking at the Queen of Swords today, the message I get with the surrounding cards is a decision to cut ties, to move on. And it was a difficult decision made with experience, logic and wisdom, but something that's perhaps you've stuck to quite rigidly. Quite a cutting decision, really, that's led to moving on. The Seven of Wands shows me that whatever path you're on, you're on the higher ground. You're in a good defensive position, and holding your ground is well worth the effort. Again, you know, it's sort of saying stick with it a bit. Things are tough, but stick with it. Your challenges are yeah, a decision to be made, or perhaps coping with a decision that has been made, realizing that although it may be difficult, it may leave you tied up, or feeling that you're unable to move forward with the speed and set purpose, the drive that you would like to move forward with. This decision was made in a fair and non-biased way. I can't help getting the sense that it's to do with this Queen of Swords. You know, together it looks like some sort of separation, some sort of divvying up of goods. Perhaps that's why you have here your Lily card. There's perhaps something you've been involved in, either on a relationship or work level, that you thought would go the long haul but has turned out to be a rather short-lived partnership. Now has come to an end, and you're left feeling stuck, left feeling with no options of how to move on. But, you know, with the Hanged Man, it's about looking at things from a slightly different angle, gaining a new perspective. Sometimes, even if we haven't voluntarily put ourselves in a state of suspension, perhaps just pausing for breath is always a good idea. It gives you time to think, it gives you time to strategize, which is what is your advice card there. You've also got as a challenge, yeah, it just feels like you feel you're carrying too much of a heavy load. It's all getting on top of you now. So there's your challenges: coping with a decision that has been made either by you or on your behalf, or that has simply involved you. It's left you feeling with your hands tied, and it's sort of all beginning to pile on top of you. It's sort of an ending, moving away from something that perhaps has not been as long-lived as you had anticipated, and it's all starting to get on top of you. But you've still got at the bottom of the deck this energy sort of saying that, you know, there are possibilities, there are choices open to you. It's a matter of deciding, making a decision. Perhaps some of you have actually feel that you are at a crossroads. The advice row sort of suggests that beware of overthinking things, of letting things go round and round in your head if you've had a bad time particularly, because, you know, that's sort of a very negative state to be in, and all it does is exacerbate the issues that are worrying you at the moment. It's time for more decisive, more strategical thinking, using your past experience wisely, and having made decisions, sticking with them with conviction, knowing that, you know, having thought it through, you've come to the best decision possible in the circumstance. Part of making good decisions is a bit of mediation, a bit of listening to others. I'm getting a sense here that the Two of Swords is warning you not to be closed off to the real facts. There may be some truths in this matter that you need to own up to look at, to acknowledge. It's about fairness. There's a lot of need for fairness in this reading. When emotions are high, it's easy to be biased one way or the other, but I think the spread generally is urging you to use your head rather than your heart. Follow, you follow your moral code, your integrity, using your integrity in this sort of situation. But it seems that there is some degree of listening needed here, mediumship and compromise. I think for some of you, if it's, this is a relationship issue, it's quite ironic that you get the newlyweds, which is sort of the beginning of a situation rather than where this reading seems to be at the moment. So I'm going to leave these two here with your advice roads. It's compromise and listening in order to alleviate some of the unnecessary worrying and turbulent thoughts patterns that may be emerging from a difficult ending. Right, so you've got the sort of end row. Your outcome looks better. It looks, quite promising, really. It shows whatever you're moving towards, that you will feel accomplished. You will have some sense of victory, and your efforts will be acknowledged. You'll be able to hold on to a certain degree of security and material comfort at this point. The Four of Coins is about holding on in order to feel stable. I mean, it may mean that could eventually evolve to actually being stagnant, but for the outcome of your reading today, for the week reading, you'll be, so shows success, being able to hold on to your reserves and, maintaining a sense of security and stability. And the gaining of wisdom, the gaining of some knowledge that up until now has remained murky, has remained unclear to you. The High Priestess is a great revealer of wisdom, and that often comes through gaining insight into situations through revelations and knowledge. So there you have it, Leo. It seems a slightly difficult week for you, but certainly coming up through the end of it with some sense of accomplishment and triumph. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, please remember to like, share and subscribe. And I do hope you have a good week, and God bless you till we meet again.